World Cup number 3 of the IBSF Skeleton Tour in Yanqing in China. 7th after the first of the 2 heats, Jackie Pfeiffer. 8th in the Winter Games in 2022 in China. She'd been the bronze medalist in Pyeongchang 4 years earlier. And after a slightly under par first heat, she tidied up her act in the second. Traditionally nice, smooth lines from Pfeiffer, and that built speed low down in the track. Below the trademark 360-degree Kreisel corner, she started to really accelerate. A clean exit giving her top speed at the bottom part of the course. And that was enough to take the lead away from the reigning world champion, Canada's Hallie Clark. Jacka was still in the lead as we got to the second fastest starter in the competition, Tabby Stoker from Great Britain, in 4th place after the first heat and just 400s out of the medals. In the woodwork in turn 1 though, not as smooth as Pfeiffer, despite which she had a huge advantage early on. But with lower speed and not as tidy an exit from the Kreisel, she was hemorrhaging time. Just enough in hand to hold on to the line by half a second with 3 to go. Who would be in the medals then? Well, you had to look at the Olympic champion from Beijing 2022, Hannah Neisser, as being a red-hot opportunity. Just 400s ahead of Stoker from the first heat, she was still 1600s away from the tie for gold. But by the time she got to the corkscrew Kreisel, she was already ahead and with top speed under her. An untidy exit blunted some of that, but there was no doubting the class of Hannah Neisser. The winner in the Olympic Games didn't race in the World Cup here last year, but she has clearly lost none of her abilities on this track. It was a definite marker. Great Britain's Freya Tarbit, 4th in race 1 in Pyeongchang and winner in race 2, the World Cup points leader. She had tied the early leader, China's Xiao Dan, and now it was up to her to try and hold off the flying Olympic champion. Best speed of all into the Kreisel, but an uncomfortable exit would take that away. And trouble lower down in the fast turns up to the finish saw her just drop behind. Neisser led with 1 to go. So would it be the Olympic champion or the hometown queen? 21-year-old Xiao Dan, the silver medalist in last year's World Cup here. She'd only been 9th in the Winter Games a season earlier. In 22 previous World Cup races, her best result had been the silver medal here at the beginning of last season. And with good speed in the Kreisel, she had the opportunity to keep her lead over the reigning Olympic champion. A clean exit would accelerate her down into the final corners. Off 13 and rushing to the line, clean and away to win for the first time in her career. 21-year-old Xiao Dan defeats the Olympic champion to claim her first World Cup win on home ice. Hannah Neisser second, and Freya Tarbit retains the World Cup lead with another medal in bronze. But a huge red-letter day for China's Xiao Dan as she takes her first ever World Cup win.